Hey guys, since the video last week on simple interest was not working, I'm going to try it again in a different way. I think it's important that we revisit it since it's something that we can use for the rest of our lives. We're not going to touch on compound interest right now because in 8th grade you get to use the graphing calculator, and it just makes it so much easier to do when you have that in front of you. So let's go back to simple interest. You're going to take a quizzes this week as your assignment or your check for understanding. So I will put the code, I will give you the link for that, and then you will just check in with me with the score that you made. Don't worry, all I want you to do is practice. So back to simple interest rate. They've given you the formula right here, but I'm going to write it out again. We're just going to talk about the formula. So the interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. We can look at this word problem and it says Fred has $100 in his savings account. The interest rate is 10% per year and is not compounded. So this is simple interest. How much interest will he earn in 2 years? So let's go ahead and plug what we know into our formula. We're going to stop when we get to the rate and we're going to talk about that. So the interest that he will earn on this account is, he's starting out, his principal is $100. So we're going to write 100 for our P times, now we need to talk about the rate, and they tell us right here that the interest rate is 10%. If you don't have a fancy calculator, you might not be able to just plug 10% into it. So let's revisit how to change a percentage into a decimal. Over here, I'm going to write our 10%. And I know we talked about this a lot in the beginning of the year. So whenever you have a percent, you essentially have a decimal that you can't see right in front of that percent sign. So all we're going to do to change this into a decimal is we're going to move our decimal 2 places to the left, and that's going to be equal to 0.10. So that is our interest rate. You're taking your percent and you're moving decimal 2 places to the left to get the decimal that you can easily put into the calculator. So now we have our principal of $100 times our rate, which is 0.10. Sorry that the decimals are so small. Times the time, and they've told us that it's 2 years. So times 2. I'm going to put that into my calculator. So we're going to have, 100 times 0.10 times 2. And when I calculated it, I got 20. And put the 20 that I got into this little box. And we're going to submit it. And good job, we got it right. So in that problem, 100 times 0.10 times 2 gave us $20. So let me erase, oh dear. Let me erase this. Sorry, y'all, this is a learning curve for us all. Okay, we're going to erase our work from last time, and we're going to look at this problem. This will be the last one that we do. I don't want this video to go on forever. I just wanted y'all to understand what I was trying to say to you last week. So we have our formula, which is interest equals principal times rate times time. Here we're talking about Colton, and he has $100 in his savings account that earns 5% interest per year. The interest is not compounded. How much? Now this is a big difference. How much will he have in 5 years? It did not say how much interest will he have. This is asking how much will he have in all in 5 years. So this is 2 parts. First, we need to figure out how much interest he's earning, but then we have to add it to what he began with to see how much he ends up with in 5 years. So we know that our principal is 100. We're going to multiply it by our 5%. We're going to come over here and we're going to turn that into a decimal by moving our decimal place 2 places to the left and putting a placeholder. So our interest rate is 0.05 and our time, I'm going to put X, is 5 years. So in our calculator, we're going to put, once I get my calculator cleared, we're putting 100 times 0.05 times 5. When we do that, I got $25. I hope you did too. So now all we have to do is add that $25 that he has earned in interest over that 5 years to our principal, what he began with, which is 100. So now we're adding 100 plus 25, and that's going to equal give us $25 in total. Let's submit it. Yay, we got it right. So, simple interest, I hope you agree, is relatively simple. Just make sure that you understand what they're asking you. Also, I think it's very important to write the formula down and plug in what you know. Make sure that you're looking at the question. How much interest will she earn in 1 year? You're just calculating the interest. How much will she earn at the end of the term? Or how much will he earn in all? That would mean you have to add the interest to the principal. So really pay close attention to the question. I hope you guys are all good, and I hope you enjoy the quizzes. I think it'll be a nice little change of pace. Please just be honest with me. I just want to know that you're understanding. And if you have any questions, any trouble, do not hesitate to reach out. That's what I'm here for. Miss you guys. Bye-bye.